वेलकम टू द देसी एडिट टॉक्स। आज का एपिसोड बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट है और ऑनेस्टली बहुत पर्सनल भी, क्योंकि हर औरत अपनी लाइफ में एक ऐसे फेज से गुजरती है जिसके बारे में हम ऑलमोस्ट कभी खुल के बात ही नहीं करते, और अक्सर उन्हें लगता है कि शायद ये स्ट्रेस है या एज है या वो बीमार रहने लगी हैं। बट द ट्रूथ इज़ आवर बॉडी इज़ गोइंग थ्रू पावरफुल हार्मोनल ट्रांजिशंस। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं प्री मेनोपॉज, पेरीमेनोपॉज और मेनोपॉज की। और इस कॉन्वर्सेशन के लिए हमारे साथ है एक एक्सपीरियंस्ड गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट डॉक्टर चार्मी ठक्कर देशमुख। डॉक्टर चार्मी इज सक्सेसफुली रनिंग लक्ष्मी एडवांस्ड वुमेन केयर हॉस्पिटल, फोकसिंग ऑन वुमेन्स हेल्थ। डॉक्टर चार्मी आज हमें मेनोपॉज से रिलेटेड इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगी और कुछ मिथ्स भी दूर करेंगी। तो अगर आप 35 प्लस हैं या आपकी मदर, सिस्टर, फ्रेंड इस फेज़ में हैं, ये एपिसोड आपके लिए है। लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन। वेलकम डॉक्टर चार्मी।
Hello.
So let's come to the first and the very important question. What is menopause?
Okay. So, how do we define menopause is when you stop getting periods for at least 1 year. So, that is when you have reached menopause. But hormonal changes start much before you enter menopause. So, usually 2-3 years prior to you entering the actual menopause, you will start feeling certain changes in your body. And this phase is known as perimenopause. And I think perimenopause is more important than even menopause, because it is during perimenopause that you are going to see most of the symptoms that we are worried about, which we'll be discussing further.
Pre-menopause, perimenopause और menopause में actual difference क्या होता है?
So, pre-perimenopause is almost the same. That is when the hormonal changes start happening. You know, slowly your ovaries start secreting less estrogen, less progesterone.
Okay.
Certain cycles you don't make eggs, so certain cycles are anovulatory.
Yeah.
And the changes in your body start appearing, you know, the mood
Right.
swings, the hot flushes. So that is your perimenopause. It is in perimenopause that you need to be very careful about your health, because if you are not taking care of yourself in perimenopause, you might irreversibly damage some of your body organs.
Okay.
Once menopause sets in, that's a complete absence of the cycles. So then there is extremely low level of estrogen and progesterone, but it's the transition, you know, from good hormonal levels to no. It's a transition that's the most important time. That's where you need to be most careful.
Right. सो अक्सर औरतों को लगता है कि मेनोपॉज एक सडन इवेंट है। क्या ये एक्चुअली एक लॉन्ग ट्रांजिशन होता है जो सालों पहले से स्टार्ट हो जाता है?
So hormonal changes start a few years before menopause happens. This perimenopausal phase can last anywhere between 2 to 3 years, but किसी में short भी रहता है. You know, the transition happens very quickly in 6 months. Each human body is different.
ओके। एंड इंडियन वुमेन के केस में अगर देखें तो मेनोपॉज यूजुअली किस एज में स्टार्ट होता है नॉर्मली?
So if we see, the average age in Indian women is between 44 to 46
Okay.
years. Though that's what
That's
the
the pre-menopause
official,
or menopause?
the menopause.
Menopause age. Okay.
And that's what the official data says. But in our clinical practice, I have been noticing that it's slowly shifting.
Okay.
So nowadays, I am seeing menopause mostly by 48 to 50 to even 52 years, even in Indian women. So I think slowly we are moving towards the Western standard. I would be talking about the patients which live in the metropolis of Bombay, maybe better nutrition, better.
So you're getting there. They are getting a little late.
So we are almost reaching, you know, the
Okay.
age which we see in the Western counterparts,
Right.
especially in the city of Bombay. And I think it would be the same in other metropolis, but in villages it might still be 42, 44 years, as you know, the books say.
Right. So what are the first signs of premenopause that women dismiss?
So usually, you know, it starts with I am being a little forgetful.
Okay.
I'm being a little irritable. Sometimes I'm gaining weight.
Yeah.
I'm feeling tired. So usually when we are in our 40s, we tend to dismiss these things. But if hot flushes or period irregularities come, then women tend to notice it, that
Yeah.
yes, this is related to hormones. But the other subtle signs they tend to miss.
And yes, coming to the same thing, women complain about sudden mood swings, anxiety, anger in 30s and 40s. So, is this just hormonal or can be related to menopause?
So, see, 30s, I would definitely, obviously not call it perimenopause. 40s is when we can consider it to be pre.
The same symptoms.
Yes.
Okay.
The same symptoms could be considered as a sign of, perimenopause. However, we have to rule out other things, other hormones like thyroid, prolactin
Yeah.
need to be ruled out. Sometimes it might be a actual clinical depression,
Okay.
and many times we are depressed, but we want to call it hormonal changes. So that is also another thing. So the option of a clinical depression or anxiety should always be kept open, because it's not always hormonal. Because she's a woman, it's hormonal. It's not like that.
So we always
So we
blame
should
it.
keep our minds open. And I feel in our country, we are not very open about considering psychiatric illnesses,
Yes, of course.
So we want to blame everything on the hormones, but it's not always the hormones.
Correct. So, is irregular periods always the first sign of, or menopause can even start when the periods are normal?
Irregular periods will happen a few months after you notice the other hormonal changes.
Okay.
Now, irregular periods are not always perimenopause, right? So, all of us have heard about the polycystic ovarian syndrome. That has irregular periods,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Thyroid changes can have irregular
Stress can
periods.
cause.
Stress can cause, yes. So, irregular periods alone cannot be defined as perimenopause. So, perimenopause is a lot of things together, where even the age needs to be considered. So,
Right.
if you are in the right age group, you're having irregular periods and you're having other signs which coincide with perimenopause, that is when we make the diagnosis. There are blood tests also available,
Okay.
so in case of doubt, there's a hormonal test available which may give us an idea. It's not a foolproof test, but certain hormonal tests could give us an idea.
So, you think in 40s women should go for a hormonal test?
No, I don't think you should do a hormonal test, but in 40s, you should take more care of your health. If you see any symptoms, including weight gain, mood swings, hot flushes, irregular periods, you should definitely consult your gynecologist.
Right.
Another important thing that we don't do in this country is the pap smear,
Pap smear
the
test.
cervical cancer screening. Though it is said that it should start 3 to 5 years once you start your sexual activity, at least if you start doing it in your 40s, that should be good enough. So
Right.
maybe, a pap test and a regular consult with your gynecologist is what you should do when you enter your 40s,
40s.
and let your doctor take over from there.
Right, right. So, lifestyle factors like stress, poor sleep, poor nutrition, ये menopause के symptoms को और भी worse बनाते हैं?
Yes. So, stress is a very big factor which can make the transition to menopause very, very difficult. So, what stress does it increases your cortisol levels.
Right.
It decreases the good quality sleep. So, when you're stressed, you don't sleep enough. You tend to
Yeah.
eat bad food when you are stressed. You crave for sugars, you crave for
Yes.
fats. This will definitely bring your perimenopausal symptoms to a new height. So, any woman in her perimenopause, menopause, we say the most important thing is reduce your stress, reduce your cortisol levels, because decreased estrogen, progesterone, increased cortisol is a fatal combination. So stress needs to be avoided. I don't know how to avoid stress in this world.
I was just going to say that's
So-
very difficult to avoid stress.
in today's day and time,
And everything is related to stress.
stress is, I think also the upbringing, we are all very prone to take stress for small things,
yes. Especially women.
Yeah, and I see, in my daughter's school, mothers, my daughter got 2 marks less. She's stressed about that. It's okay. It's not
okay.
a life-changing thing, but we want everything our way.
Yes.
If
You
something
want to
doesn't
control
happen
everything.
our way, we feel stressed.
Yes.
We are not taking life as we should. It's supposed to be enjoyed and not
Yes.
worried about every day.
So if a woman is in her 30s, so what are the 3 things that she should follow to have a smooth menopause?
Yes, you are right. Early in your early 30s or at least late 30s, if you start taking care of your health, it's not just about menopause, it's also about gracefully, entering the
Exactly.
40s.
Yeah.
So the most important is diet.
Okay.
When we are in our teens, we are not so worried about what we are eating, what time we are eating. We don't care about, whether we're eating proteins, whether we are eating carbs. But in your 30s, start seeing what you're eating.
Correct.
Have good quality proteins in your diet. Go for good quality fats. Most vegetarian diets are very poor in good quality fats. Walnuts and other even DHA supplements can be taken. So go for good quality fats. Decrease your carb intake. So we nothing. There's nothing against pizzas, pastas, but it's refined carb. It's maida.
Yeah.
So refined carb, sugars, bakery items, be very careful. We don't think twice before opening a box of cookies and eating a couple of cookies.
Yes.
But that not only has bad fats, it has everything. It has bad fats, it has sugars, it has refined
Yeah.
carbs.
No fiber.
So that is one thing. Another thing is exercise. Whenever I tell a patient to exercise, I don't have time. Well, all of us have 24 hours. We
Yes.
cannot increase. And even if it was 28, you would still say, I don't have time. So I feel, certain amount of physical activity.
Is important.
Yes. And try to tell yourself about teach yourself how to not take stress about small things. Train yourself not to take stress.
Correct.
Sometimes, tell yourself this is okay and just move ahead instead of. So diet, exercise, avoid stress.
Yeah. These 3 things.
Yes.
So let's talk about perimenopause now. शायद सबसे कंफ्यूजिंग फेज़ यही होता है जितना मैंने बात की है फ्रेंड से. सो पेरीमेनोपॉज एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है और कितने साल तक चलता है?
सो पेरीमेनोपॉज आइडेंटिफाई करना इज़ नॉट वेरी इजी. सिम्टम्स से हम आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. सो यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग सडन मूड स्विंग्स. ओके. More of irritability. Sometimes you tend to forget things.
Yeah.
So that is where it starts. You also start noticing that you are gaining weight slightly. It might not always be weight. It might start with inches.
Right.
So, the fat near your abdomen.
You can lose weight
starts.
also, or just gain
No,
is
gain.
more common?
Wish you could lose weight. We would all love perimenopause if we could lose
We'll
weight.
wait for perimenopause.
Yes. So, yeah, that. And then some irregularity you will see in your
Yeah.
periods. Some sleep disturbances. I used to sleep peacefully and now I wake up in the middle of the night, or difficulty in falling asleep. So I'm lying awake in my bed for hours together.
Yeah.
Can't sleep till the early dawn. Can't sleep in the afternoon. So these are the things which may start. Irregular periods may start a little later. Hot flushes will start even later.
Okay.
Bones may start getting weak. So, pain in the joints, legs, this could also start. So that is when you need to consult your gynec, and she needs to rule out other causes and then reach the conclusion that this is
It's
perimenopause.
Okay. So women often say मुझे brain fog हो रहा है, चीज़ें भूल रही हूँ.
Correct.
So क्या ये brain fog perimenopause का real symptom होता है?
It is a real thing. It's not something that women have made up. So because of the decreased estrogen, the dopamine and serotonin levels in the brain decrease.
Okay.
So these hormones are what give clarity,
Right.
also, sense of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So not only fog, but a sense of I don't feel happy no matter what I do, because serotonin, dopamine, these are your hormones which make you feel happy.
Yeah.
So that they go down, so you feel brain fog, you feel not happy about doing anything. So this
Yeah.
is a real symptom
Sign,
and
yeah.
not something just being made up.
हॉट फ्लैशेस और नाइट स्वेट्स के बारे में बहुत सुना है.
Yes.
अचानक गर्मी, पसीना बॉडी में. एक्चुअली हॉट फ्लैशेस में होता क्या है बॉडी में?
So what happens is that there is a part of the brain called the hypothalamus.
ओके.
This regulates the body temperature.
ओके.
Now, because of the hormonal changes that happen in menopause, the hypothalamus becomes oversensitive to changes in temperature.
Okay.
A slight change in temperature and it overreacts.
Okay.
So what it does is it makes the blood vessels near your skin dilate, and
Okay.
this makes you feel really hot.
Okay.
So you feel hot for a few seconds to a few minutes, and you feel really hot. And then as the vessels kind of constrict, you feel like you're shivering. You
Right.
start sweating, and it's really very uncomfortable. So some women could get it at least 4 to 5 times a day even.
Yeah.
When this happens at night, we call it night sweats.
ओके.
So it's the same thing, but at night. So in the middle of the night, okay, it is it's not that if you put on the AC it will not come. The sweat, the hot
It's
flush, the
happening
night sweat
internally.
might come even when you are in an ambient temperature.
Yeah.
Maybe a slight decrease in the temperature and you are in an episode.
Yeah.
And this is one symptom that's quite difficult to treat.
ओके. सो टॉकिंग अबाउट मेनोपॉज, ऑफिशियली डॉक्टर कब कहते हैं वुमेन हैज़ एंटर्ड हर मेनोपॉज?
Menopause is when you have had no period for 1 complete year, then you are in menopause. Before that,
Okay.
you are in perimenopause. I get periods every 2-3 months, 6 months, you're still in your perimenopause.
सो इंडियन वुमेन में मेनोपॉज ग्लोबली कंपैरिजन करें तो जल्दी आता है?
Yes, it comes
We
a little
discussed it
early. We
before.
just discussed this, but we are seeing a change in the trend. So, at least in the metros, so we are reaching the international levels slowly.
सो बहुत सी औरतें मेनोपॉज को एजिंग का सिंबल मानती हैं. क्या ये परसेप्शन मेडिकली और इमोशनली कितना करेक्ट है?
Medically, age is just a number.
नंबर.
Biologically, again, it is your fitness that is
Stress levels.
more important than whether you are getting your periods or not getting
Yeah.
your periods. I think it's just a new phase of life. You should not consider it as I'm aging. You should consider it as I'm entering a new phase of my life. So just take it in stride. You might be 50 years old, but nowadays we do the biological age, and biologically you might be 30 if you have a good diet, good sleep, good exercise. So just I think it should not be considered as aging, just a new phase of life, new event in life.
Yeah. And learn how to deal with it.
Yes.
So let's talk about something which women hesitate to talk about. How does menopause affect intimacy and sexual health?
So the decreased hormonal levels, they definitely decrease the sexual drive.
Right.
So that's at even at the brain level. So usually if you see in the animal kingdom, the sexual drive is more when you ovulate,
Right.
because sex is meant as a part of reproduction.
Correct.
So once you don't ovulate, the sexual drive decreases. But apart from that, physically also certain changes happen. There is a lot of dryness in the vagina, which
Okay.
makes the sexual act painful and uncomfortable. And well, no one likes pain and discomfort, right? So that is another reason why the intimacy
affects.
gets affected. Again, disturbed sleep, depression, irritability. So these are other factors which might, lead in fights, discordance
Yeah.
in partners. So that will also obviously, decrease intimacy.
करेक्ट. ओके. सो मेनोपॉज के बाद कौन से हेल्थ रिस्क्स हो सकते हैं जिनके बारे में औरतों को अवेयर होना चाहिए?
So the most important is the bone. The bones need to be really taken care of when the transition happens. We lose a lot of calcium and we lose a lot of bone strength.
Yeah.
So calcium supplements, high protein diet, sometimes vitamin D might be needed. There are tests available to see your Z score of the bone.
Okay.
If needed, ortho consultation and medications can be started to increase your bone strength. Another thing is the heart and the brain health.
Okay.
So the blood vessels tend to become less pliable. There is good and bad cholesterol in our body, if
Yeah.
you are aware. So the LDL is the bad cholesterol, the HDL is the good. So the HDL tends to come down, the LDL tends to go high, which can cause clots in the arteries of the blood vessels supplying the heart, the brain. So we are at a higher risk of getting heart attack, stroke. So, during reproductive age, our hormones protect us. So a sudden cardiac event in a woman who is in her regular periods, it's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
Whereas it's very common in men in their 30s, but
Yeah.
not common in men in their 40s. But once you're in menopause, you're at the same risk or maybe slightly higher than the men.
Okay. It's because of the cholesterol.
Yes, and the estrogen levels.
बेली फैट सडनली बढ़ने लगता है मेनोपॉज के बाद. इसका
That's what-
साइंटिफिक रीजन क्या है?
Decreased estrogen causes increased fat deposition. Especially, so it's not just below the skin, but even inside. The internal, within the abdomen, there are fat stores.
Right.
So less estrogen kind of increases the fat stores.
ओके. सो कौन से हेल्थ टेस्ट्स या स्क्रीनिंग्स करवाने चाहिए 40-45 के बाद रेगुलरली?
So definitely your routine blood tests, which include sugars, your hemoglobin levels, thyroid is very important, lipid profiles,
Right.
vitamin D, and pap smear.
सो अगर आपको 3 लाइफस्टाइल हैबिट्स रेकमेंड करनी हो जो औरतों को 35 के बाद शुरू करनी चाहिए नो मैटर व्हाट?
Food, the most important thing. It's okay, when you are young and you eat food which is unhealthy. Healthy food, home cooked food,
होम कुक्ड.
packaged foods should be avoided at any cost. Most packaged foods have palm oil and they have colors and artificial flavors and stuff. Good quality proteins, good quality of carbs. So I have nothing against carbs, but carbs, say you eat in the form of millets. There is this shift, from rice, wheat to millet is something I think every household needs to make. Even the children, if we can just get them used to the taste of millets, at least once in a while. Jwari, bhakri, nachni. It will really help because these have high calcium, they have high fiber, they have a
Iron
low
levels,
glycemic index, they keep you full for a long time, they don't suddenly increase your blood sugar levels. So diet, proteins we all know, sprouts and paneer and eggs and non-vegetarian sources of proteins like chicken, fish. So proteins and avoiding bad fats, ghee, butter, oil, even milk.
Is ghee not good?
Ghee is good in a certain amount.
Certain amount.
Yes, it is very good in a certain amount. But when we exceed, that is when the problem is. So everything in moderation is excellent.
Balanced.
Ghee in moderation is excellent. But when we exceed the intake, that is when it can cause problems. Apart from that, regular exercise. Because we all have a sedentary lifestyle. We are sitting and doing our work.
Correct.
So every day we have to move our body. God has not made us to sit. So every day, 30 to 40 minutes, at least 5 days of week, of whatever exercise you like. It need not be exercise. If you like playing a game, you want to, play badminton, tennis, you want
Just
to
physical
ride a
activity.
cycle, you want to dance.
Correct.
Even that is great.
Important.
Have some hobby. Cultivate hobbies. That's very important because that will decrease stress level.
Right.
Yoga, meditation, it really helps. Most of us find it very difficult, find it a struggle to, just sit calm even for a minute. So
Correct.
cultivating the habit of sitting calm for a few minutes. Yoga kind of also brings in hormonal balance. So
Brings down the stress levels.
brings down the stress level. Yes. So, but you need to learn from someone who knows.
Yeah.
So otherwise, just like moving your hands and legs here and there,
Sitting at
that's
one place.
not yoga. That's not yoga. You need to
Yeah.
learn it from someone who knows.
Right. हार्मोनल रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी क्या है और HRT सेफ है, कब रिकमेंड किया जाता है?
So HRT is very safe today. Then when it began, we began with very high doses of estrogen, with progesterones which were not very good for your body. But now we go for very low doses of estrogen. We use progesterones which do not increase your LDH levels. So the HRT in today's world is really safe. But I have found that there is a block in the mind of women in India against HRT. Whereas all over the world, women prefer to go for HRT. But in India,
So like in menopause, they get HRT.
yes, in menopause they get HRT. Even sometimes, when the hot flashes or when the bone density issues occur, they are given HRT. And women are open and they accept HRT. Whereas here, I find it very difficult, even if a lady has, say, early menopause, say she has a menopause in her very early 40s or late 30s, still convincing a woman for HRT becomes difficult. There are a few risks, but we can always monitor. So, we can monitor your blood pressure levels, we can monitor your lipid levels, we can monitor you for breast cancer, for cervical cancer. And if we do these monitoring regularly at 6 months to 1 year, then yes, HRT is a safe option to, tackle your perimenopause, menopausal symptoms.
And what are the very clear changes that happen in a positive way after HRT?
So you definitely stop having the hot flashes.
The hot flashes.
It will definitely improve your bone density.
Okay.
So these two things will be there. And yes, even the mood swings will,
Right.
improve to quite an extent. Weight gain might not show a very significant improvement. You will have to do lifestyle modifications for
So
your
does it also
weight.
help managing stress?
Stress could help, but I think stress management requires more of a lifestyle modification than medications.
Because we say happy hormones. So is this something that releases?
It will help. As I said,
help.
estrogen will help release dopamine and serotonin,
Right.
which were suppressed because of lower estrogen.
Correct.
But still, I wouldn't say that, it will completely manage stress. So if we think that it's a magic wand for getting rid of all my problems, no, you will have to manage your stress.
So it'll be
in
3-4
many
things together.
years. This could
to
just
manage.
be a part, something
Right.
that helps you.
Right.
But there'll be other things that you will have to do.
So let's come to some of the closing questions. Are there natural ways to manage menopause symptoms without medication?
Yes. So again, exercise. It helps secrete these happy hormones.
Right.
Okay. Decrease stress. So you don't need more of these hormones. Certain foodstuffs like soya has natural phytoestrogens.
Okay.
It's really helpful in the transition. High calcium diet, so methi seeds, bajra, nachni, high in calcium. expose yourself to sunlight early morning, go for a walk, vitamin D, so that itself will increase calcium absorption. Try to get a good sleep, don't have screen time at night. Screen time at night will kind of get your sleep cycle disturbed, and any disturb in sleep will increase stress on your body, will increase cortisol levels. So if you keep your cortisol levels low, then you can manage your menopause much better.
So if a woman is feeling overwhelmed or confused, so आप उसे क्या मैसेज देंगी at this stage?
It's a phase of life. We all have to, someday cross the bridge. But it's not so difficult. Get some help. More than taking care of yourself, you also need to counsel your family.
Correct.
That I am going through this phase. Please be supportive.
Yes, be with me.
A little support from the family, from the husband, from the kids can go a long way in a easy transition that can take away a lot of worries. So support from family is very important. The biggest problem I've seen is the last generation was not so aware. So, it's a little difficult to convince people that, look here, I'm going to something which is real. So, maybe showing them a material which talks on these problems will make them understand that it's a real problem, and it will, make them support you. So support from your family, I think, is the most important when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Right. So that brings me to the last question. What can a family do, like husbands, brothers in the family, others in the family, to support menopause?
So, first of all, keep your minds open. Understand that this is a real problem. Most of us tend to think that it's just a big way to just get away with being cranky. It's not, no one wants to be irritable and cranky. It does not give joy to a person to be irritable, cranky, shout at people at home. It's something that she's really facing. Just when you accept that, it's, so if someone has fever, you touch the person and you accept it that, oh, you are unwell, let me take care of you. Just because it's not a physical thing, you cannot measure it, does not mean it does not
exist
there. If you just keep your mind open, accept that this exists, then you will be able to support your wife or sister, your mother, And a frank, open conversation the woman needs to have. Look here, I'm going through these things. I am sorry. I don't want to be like this. And this is not permanent. It's temporary. Couple of years and you will be maybe calmer than you were before. In fact, because when you go through so much at the other side, you will start, in fact, being much more calm than you were before you went through this. So it's just a short phase of life. If they support you through this, then later everything's going to be back to normal or even better, in fact.
Right. So your final message for our viewers?
What I have seen in my clinical practice is that you tend to blame yourself, when you are not able to do everything the way you used to do before. Accept a few things in life. Give some time for yourself, for your happiness. In a day, take out half an hour for you. That half an hour, do your yoga, do your meditation. We are always so careful about the food that we are giving our children, but we are not careful about the food that we are eating. Mujhe to kuch bhi chalega. No, be careful about the food you are eating. Husband needs to be given his lunchbox on time, but it's okay if I miss my meal. No, don't do that. Just be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chami. It was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.